Forever. Dog.
Warning. The following podcast may include horny teachers, an old banana man who is oddly not a horny teacher, and sudden shifts into very specific Pennsylvania dialects. Gather up to 2 friends in a big bag and free fall into the world of Skycoasters with comedian / daredevil Mike Hanford. Pull the ripcord, it's Podcast The Ride. Welcome to Podcast The Ride, a podcast about rides, except sometimes it's not, and also it's often just speculation about rides that we haven't been on because we're too scared. I'm Scott Gardner, joined by Mike Carlson.
Yes, I am here, and I am scared still to this day as I enter my late 30s. Well, I've been in my late 30s for a little while. But yes, you know what's funny? You remind me now, I looked at some of our reviews on whatever Apple Podcasts. Because I haven't done that in a while, and there are
I don't.
They're so nice. People are so nice. 5. Oh, this is wonderful. We love the Good Boys, whatever. But then you get like 2 stars. What is this? This isn't about rides. These guys just go. It's 10 minutes of tangents. When are they going to get to the topic? And I go, oh, I guess
we have to allow for that part to get figured out.
Yeah,
they might not even dislike it. They're just processing what all the listeners have to deal with at some point.
I'm not even mad at them. I'm not like they're not mean. It's not like they wouldn't be on like a Jimmy Kimmel mean social media bit or something. They're just confused, and I understand it. I get it.
It's an adjustment that you have to make.
Yeah.
But look, in this case, we are talking about a ride, and Jason Sheridan hasn't been on the ride, but I feel like you might go on this ride today.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely a ride, and one I would consider.
Consider at least.
Once I got over the hurdle, not of fear of being like however high you are in the air, but the fear of the dreaded add-on. The dreaded upcharge.
The price that would get you. Yes.
Yeah.
Jason's biggest fear. Could you scale it?
But now I can chalk it up to research. When I was like 18 or 19...
You couldn't write off your theme park add-on or your tourist site, your gorge add-on.
Yeah,
Sometimes
theory.
this ride appears at gorges. This is an attraction that is everywhere. Maybe you don't know the name Skycoaster offhand, but they exist all over the place. It's in every continent except Antarctica, which Antarctica, why are you sleeping on it? Get a Skycoaster going. It's a big like harness and cable based attraction that is an add-on at many theme parks everywhere, and we're going to delve into it with somebody who's done it. And if you are a fan of today's guest and you're looking at this and thinking this is a long overdue guest, you don't know the half of it. From the Birthday Boys, from the Sloppy Boys, it's Mike Hanford.
Hey, hello. Thank you for having me yet again. Does the audience know what happened last time?
They don't know.
Okay.
We maybe have like alluded to it, but I don't think they know the full picture.
We haven't explained it.
We had a wonderful conversation, a long 2-hour conversation. It was great. People were being informative, funny. Stories were being told.
Particularly good, I think. And I'm not patting myself on the back. You were great. Of course, you were
I went
great,
into it being like, oh, I hope I have something to say. I don't know much about rides. These guys are the experts. And we had a great conversation.
We did all about Skycoasters. It was Skycoasters.
Yep.
And then it fell into the pit. It became the very first Podcast The Ride that was ever completely lost. The only one, aside from, we lost a City Walk saga, but then we just re-recorded it.
Yeah.
But this one, in a much broader sense, just disappeared. Mike, I feel like you have to, Mike Carlson, I think you have to go back into your stress of that, because you had to deal with it first and most.
Yeah, so we were using a little Zoom recorder, and it was a hot day. We hadn't figured everything out maybe about how we were recording outside.
We were desperate to do it in person, and it was last year. And if you don't know, Los Angeles, I mean, probably everywhere, but lately Los Angeles has gotten so morbidly hot every August and September. So it was a nice like backyard chat, which I liked
a year ago
too.
we did that?
It was over a
Yes.
year ago. Yeah.
Wow.
A year and
You
change.
know, we were all having
wild.
fun. It was hot vax summer. Everyone was acting like, just living life to the fullest.
Yes.
Hot what summer?
Hot vax.
Oh,
summer.
hot vax. Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
People-
When the
Vax-
vax came and changed everything.
Gum companies were doing ads saying like, go out and kiss strangers after you're vaccinated as long as you chew Trident gum.
We have the vaccine in the gum now.
Yeah, we have the vaccine in
Trust
the
us.
gum.
Only us. The others are
I
doing
do
it.
look at my Vax card and it's they got the date and it says Trident next to it. That's
Tried
right.
it. Yeah, property Procter and Gamble. Yeah.
So we were in the heat, and I noticed it like toward the end of recording that I was like, oh, this should be like in direct sunlight. That's not good. So I did cover it, but I think it was too late.
Yeah.
Because then I went to stop it and do everything, and then it was loading forever. Then it shut down.
It was the dreaded like we were done and then it was like, oh great, thanks for having me. And then Mike, you were like, hold on. in a tone that just meant, wait a minute.
I'm reliving it now, and I feel the stress coming back. It's like the muscle memory of the stress.
I'm sorry. I feel like you had to, unfortunately. You
Well,
you
yeah,
dealt with
I'm
it.
the one who hits record. I have to pay attention to it when we're not
Yeah,
doing it in the
it's-
studio.
I know how you feel. It's not your fault at all, but I know you just because were the closest to hit the record button. It's on you. You feel it is not.
It is. Well, it is.
It's on that
Yeah.
Like
side.
in Apollo 13, doesn't one of them feel, maybe Kevin Bacon feels the guilt the most
Yes,
for what happened?
that's true,
Because
yes.
of he pressed the buttons.
Yeah.
So you're Kevin Bacon in this.
I'm Kevin
or
Bacon
whatever
in
the
this.
real astronaut's name was.
Yeah, well, we don't know that. We just know Kevin Bacon.
We don't know. That's been lost to time.
Yeah, there's no way to look that up.
There's
so,
no way to
Jonathan
look that up.
Space, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I
Now-
think what we learned was that like the Zoom recorders are pretty rugged in terms of hot and cold, but the direct sunlight will just destroy them. Because as that was happening, my phone was also like a brick. My phone did that Apple
Yeah.
overheat thing, and I went, "That's weird."
Those screens, those screens
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
crazy. But anyway, you could have been nicer about it, which is great because
I had a great
look,
time.
that's great. I'm glad the time was valuable because you're doing it again.
I'm not convinced this is being recorded. We had an issue with I can't hear anything in my headphones. If you're watching the video, I'm not wearing these. Some of us are wearing them, some of us are not.
There will at least be video recorded, I think, and
Uh-huh.
we'll be able to dub it over
We can
if for
ADR
some reason
this.
the audio isn't working.
Now we have to bring you in and make you dub over because we have videos, so you can just go. You've done ADR or something
Yeah.
Sure,
before.
easy.
Just all right. So just watch your mouth for the next 90 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember all your
And I'll
tangents.
try to memorize what I say. Let's all do that.
Yeah.
So you do get the superlative of being on the podcast A Ride Lost episode, but you might also be our cooler. You know, the guy the casino
Just
sent
fucks everything up.
to like he's on a run. Send him next to it.
That
Send
is-
William
yeah.
H. Macy next
Right,
to it.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
There was also because then I saw you the next day or so because you organized a bar hang and it was I gave you the official verdict. You're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, we lost
I
it."
tried. I tried to
And,
retrieve it. I was online.
Yeah,
I'm
you
looking
had
for
like
things.
little hack notions that coulda
Yeah,
worked or
but
not
it
worked.
didn't-
You told me, and I instantly said 2 shots of anything you got behind the bar. We need to erase this from our memories right now.
That's right. That's the spirit. But then that was at eventual podcast The Right Topic, Tam O'Shanter, with the guest for that episode, Tim Kalpakis, who the next morning we all got texts from saying, I have COVID. And we may have, everyone may have.
And you
gotten
two
it.
didn't feel well because you both did shots of creme de menthe
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Mike ordered from behind the bar.
He said anything? Anything, man. Come
Whatever's
on.
closest.
You heard
Yes.
The nearest bottle.
Midoriya Blue Curacao, please.
My favorites. But then anyway, you immediately said, let's do it again. I said, oh yeah, maybe we could talk about something different. And you said, no, we're doing
No,
Skycoasters.
this is the only thing I know. Skycoaster. No, because it was, when you asked me to do the show, I was like, oh, what would be a ride I know specifically? And this kind of was the only one I could think of that was like, I've been on it. because I've been on roller coaster before, I don't remember the loops and the twists. I don't remember any of them.
It gets very we don't talk about a lot of roller coasters.
Sure,
because
I
you
know,
get into
but-
and then the G's and the like it's sort of becomes very dry and factual.
Well, I got a funny roller coaster story I'll tell you as we get into it. That
Oh,
happened
okay,
since
okay.
the last recording. The
wow.
phantom recording.
I was wondering, if anything had transpired related to our show in the last year. But Skycoasters, you were committed to Skycoasters. Although in the intervening time, I think we all forgot what these were called.
Yeah.
yes, right.
You texted and said, "Are we still doing the giant swing?" And I
Which
I
I
didn't
think those,
know either.
Those things could be named that on the some signage. It could be called Giant Swing. I think that's.
It might be a more accurate title because Sky Coaster. The listener, if you haven't seen one of these, you might not be picturing what we're talking about because coasters. The biggest keyword when you think coaster is track. I would say, and there's
Wheel
no
on track, right? That's
Oh,
loosely
wheels too, yes.
loosely what the word coaster translates from.
Yeah.
It's Greek.
from the Latin origin,
right.
yes. But it's not. It is like it's adjacent to bungee. Bungee jumps.
Bungee
jumps.
jumping. Bungee
Bungee
jumping.
dives.
Yeah.
Bungee swing. I mean, there's bungee swings.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then it's not bungee because it was
Right.
invented to be a better bungee. They were trying to reinvent
Yeah.
the bungee and something that's more
A
of a
smoother
free fall.
bungee, yeah.
Yeah, well, without the snapback because that seems like
Right.
the unappealing part of. No one here has done a bungee dive.
I'm afraid of. I'll be honest. I'm afraid.
Bungee seems like it just seems like a apparatus or an event that will happen sort of off grid, if that makes sense. So I just don't know
Yeah.
if the safety protocols are there.
Yeah, it feels like because like at Disney, for the most part, they've gone through sort of you could assume safety checks every
Yes.
morning. In fact,
Yes, there's too much money to be lost at Disneyland.
But the thing, like the ones where you see them like on a bridge,
Yeah.
is that permanent?
I don't know. Right? Are they just tying it up there? Like that
they-
seems like the MTV Sports version when people would like do their own like I have my own bungee equipment. I do this, and then when they
Yeah.
opened up as stands or like, then it felt like who's checking this stuff? Who's regulating?
We
There-
got 5 bungee deaths since 2015. That's not
In
crazy.
America?
Not bad.
But deaths are bad. Death isn't.
Deaths are
Death
bad.
is
not
bad.
great.
No, I agree.
I
I
agree.
agree. I think we all
We
can
all
agree.
agree death is bad.
Is
Can
that
can I read the summary of like what the creators? I just think this is so odd. What the creators had in mind when
Yes.
they invented this. Mm-hmm. They wanted to find a way to let others experience the thrill of jumping out of a plane or the thrills of bungee jumping, but with the safety factor of a merry-go-round? How do you get to that point? How do you get to the point where you're like, so this and this, but then it's as safe as getting on a little carousel?
I think that seems tough to do, but it seems like I think they were kind of after what we're talking about. Where if you're worried about like this
Yeah.
bungee jump operation seems like 2 guys who have a bridge that nobody's told them to leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Could we get? It seems like almost what they wanted more was like theme park infrastructure and safety, and also that this could be kind of like rubber stamped in a lot of different theme parks, which
Yes.
it is in like a lot of big ones and Six
Yeah.
Flags and the chains.
And it's so
stuff.
easy. It's just like an arch or 2 sticks and put a swing between them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like there's kind of like a loop or an A frame.
Yeah.
and then another big stick that you are pull. That's the technical term, and you are pulled back by that one.
Uh-huh.
And then released, is that right?
Yeah, and I think you pull it yourself. The one I did, I forgot. So we've talked about this. I did it in I think 6th or 7th grade. We did like a school trip at the end of the year, and we had to borrow money from a cool teacher who there were like 3 of us who wanted to do it, and we're like, oh well, we don't have any money, and our cool teacher was like, well, I'll pay for you guys if you pay me back tomorrow. We're like, done.
Money
we did.
exchange with a teacher is
Yeah,
Wow, that is weird.
General.
It felt like this is not what you need to do for us right now. But we did it, and you go up. We were in 3s. You could do it probably these days. They probably have them as much as 6 or 7.
That seems like a bad idea.
Why 6 or 7 people can be up on that thing?
But it's like it is like kind of like a sack almost.
Yeah, you
or
get
like
in this
a
sort of
blanket.
this. Yeah, you lay face down. I forget if we put these like. You know when you go to the dentist and they put that like they do X-rays, they put sort of a
smock.
A lead
smock
vest.
on
A lead
Yeah.
vest. Yeah.
Felt
Do you like
something
that
like
as a
that.
nap fan? Or is that
Do
like,
I
oh, that's a
like
little
it?
relaxing?
I do find it a little comforting. I mean, weighted blankets are very popular. I don't think I would like that much weight on me when I slept all night, but like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good
yeah.
But you do like wearing a lead vest.
I kind of like. I've never liked going to the dentist. I really didn't like it when I was young. So like having a little comfort, having a little, safety blanket.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like it because I when that means they're giving me the X-rays and they're putting the plastic in my mouth and I'm a gagger.
Oh,
The plastic is
Yeah.
tough,
Yes.
and
It's
it's got to
bad.
be just so. They keep like moving around.
And you got to make sure breathe in your nose and like I'm just like this. I'm like it's like Clockwork Orange for like 10 minutes and I'm just like, that's
always-
the way to do it.
It always goes through my mind too. It's like we got this laser shooting right in my head, and we're just covering my body with the lead. There's the brain.
they're
in there
shooting
needs
your
a-
brain
I need a lead
with
helmet too.
X-rays. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool too if they gave you some big like
Tron
the honey.
helmet.
Yeah, or Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh yeah, sure.
Big
or like,
kooky helmet.
or more of a because it's just your mouth, so it should be more of like a Roman helmet.
Yeah.
that kind of goes or like
Like a
Magneto's helmet
luchador. Yes.
with like
Magneto,
a little
that'd be
cut out here, maybe.
with the little nose ridge. I like that on a helmet when the
Yeah.
be it a supervillain or
good.
a
It's funny
soldier.
to think of a Roman soldier with that little nose piece.
Yeah.
Those things aren't held on their heads so tightly that like if you get hit in the nose, that whole thing, the whole helmet's gonna pop off and
Yeah,
your
or
nose
s-
is getting hit.
or spin around.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Oh,
It gets you.
right, and then it's jetting into your back. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, there's a reason the empire collapsed. Okay.
They pay too much attention
Poor
to ornamental
helmet
nose
design.
pieces.
Yeah.
Nose ridges. Wait, where were we? Oh, the blanket, the heavy blanket.
Yes. So they kind of put you in this smock thing, if I remember correctly, and then the three of us, got into this like other harness thing that went in front of us. They sort of lay you down on you're looking, you're facing down, and they pull you up, and then one of us had to pull the string, pull the ripcord, and then away we go. And I think they counted it off like from a megaphone. They're like, "Here we go, 1, 2, 3." And
The making you do it, I hate.
Oh my God.
yeah,
This is an element that I don't. Skydiving, the jumping off the stratosphere in Vegas, they make you
Yeah.
jump, and I don't like a ride that forces me to start it
right.
Yeah.
because I can't do it. Even like rides I like, I bet I wouldn't be able to.
Yes, I
Like,
know what you mean.
Pull a big lever.
If like the times I've jumped off of like a high dive or a high cliff into a lake or something, it is always that like, okay, I'm gonna go. No, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna count down from 10. After 10, I'm gonna count up to 3, and I will do it on 3. I promise you all.
yeah, I can't do it.
This might be a weird thing to equate it to, but now that you and I have both had children, doesn't it feel like the ultimate? Like we have to pull the ripcord, and I feel like the way both of us did it was like we still didn't quite do it. It was kind of like
Wait, to do
well,
what?
We'll see.
To have kids?
Yeah, to decide to do it. It still felt like not a full pull of the ripcord. It's like I don't know, maybe it'll happen. I don't know. Let's not think about it.
Well, you want it to be.
Maybe it won't. So it probably won't. Actually, it won't. And then we won't have to. Okay, easy.
Well, I mean, this is too intimate. I mean, it happened real quick. For us, we were very lucky. But yes,
That intimate? I don't think that's too intimate.
well, to me, this
Have
is,
a real- Mike, that's not something you want to brag about.
I'm covering up. This is so personal. I just don't want to reveal so much about myself. But yeah, well, to some degree, it's such a big deal. I mean, I have said before, I almost wish like we just. Like during the pandemic, especially, I was like, I wish we just had the kid already. Like, I wish it had just happened somehow.
Right.
So there are big life choices where you're like, okay, this is going to be intense, but we got to do it. Could somebody else just do it for me?
yes.
Could somebody else just decide? This happens all the time.
That's kind of what happens. You let
We let God decide.
or
Yes.
whatever you want to define.
The
it
ultimate
as.
decider.
This is the best we can do because we're too afraid to go on this thing and pull a ripcord. We're like, well, metaphorically, we've
Well,
still not pulled ripcords.
I want to go back and talk about the ripcord, but after talking about having children, it seems silly to be like, well, but here's one more thing about the piece of nylon you actually do have to pull.
No, Mike's under a lot of stress at this
Yeah.
current moment with sleep. This is what he needs is to think about something else and
Yes.
think about
Yeah.
sixth
Nylon
grade
strips.
hijinks.
Week
Okay.
5, we're in the shit.
Oh, you're very recent.
Yeah.
Wow. You look great. You
Thank
getting
you.
sleep?
No.
Well, you could never tell.
Thank you.
So going back to the ripcord,
Yes.
somebody has to pull it, and it's one of those things. We were like little 7th, 8th graders, so we didn't have the big man muscles we have now. So it's inevitably it's that thing where someone like pulls it a couple times, and you're like, oh, is that it? Is that it? And then it gets you on one you don't even think is coming because like they pull it 3 times, it doesn't work, and then they give a one real big pull, and then you go down. So you don't even really get to like savor the moment because you're kind of like, when's it gonna happen? Oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, gee,
It's a
it
fast
did
ride.
happen. It just suddenly.
Yeah.
That feels to me like the vests, because there's a cord that you're pulling on the airplane vests.
Yeah.
If there was an
Oh,
emergency.
right.
And I've always been so sure I would not get it. Like, it sounds simple,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
probably make it simple, but aren't you like positive that you would fuck it up somehow?
You're grabbing the seat cushion before you even try the vest.
Yeah, I think so.
Just
Ben.
don't-
I'm getting
sure.
my phone and my iPad and get that above water.
Putting my hands up.
I haven't listened to the like safety warnings on a plane in years because you know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And if something did happen, I'm like, fuck, what are we doing? I haven't been listening to this in a long time.
Updated on
Yeah.
I've forgotten everything.
It's also crisis-wise. I just don't know how I'll perform. I don't really know. I've been in like a minor
Yeah.
crises where I'm late to record a podcast. But
Minor.
but
I thought I did something wrong today because I pulled up and you were both standing outside, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck did I do now?" Like,
we were mad at
am
you.
I
You
gonna
were ready
get
for a
yelled at?
scolding.
I've only been awake for an hour and 15 minutes. I couldn't have done anything yet.
Oh, I definitely was like getting ready at 9 today. I was like, is it 10 we're doing this or was it 9?
No, not 9. 9's too early.
It's too
You
early
gotta
to talk. Ripcord. It's Ripcord week.
Gotta get caffeine, get the juices flowing
Yeah.
before you talk. Well, so the ripcord is pulled, then you're swinging, then you're free falling. How was the
Yeah,
experience?
you're doing the old Tom Petty plunge, as they call it. You go down, you swing, and then you swing way out above the whole theme park. And
Where were you also? Where was
Darien Lake.
this? Darien
Right
Lake.
outside, kind of near Buffalo.
Okay.
And they've one of the funniest lines I've ever heard in my life happened there. I'll tell you about that in a second. You fly way out over the park. You kind of maybe wave to people so people are looking up at you, and you go back and forth a few times, and then you're done. And it's not that exciting, and it doesn't make a mark on your life, really, other than, hey, I can talk about this on a podcast one day. What's a podcast?
I remember last time that towards the end I was trying to do some so for the listeners, would you recommend the Skycoaster experience? You did say no.
I think you can get your thrills in other places at a theme park. But the also Darien Lake, they had the Superman Ride of Steel, which was kind of new at the time.
Oh.
This was
this is a Six Flags also.
yes.
is what I'm trying
It
to-
then became a Six Flags. But they had the Predator, was a cool wooden roller coaster. Anyway, when it became a Six Flags, we went back. So this was after 8th grade. There was Superman Ride of Steel. It goes. I don't know if there's different versions of it, but it's one of those ones that like it ends. When it ends, it's just like the cars come in really fast and just like stop right there.
yeah.
And we were waiting in line. We were the next ride up. The thing comes back in, and this guy was in his seat who didn't really enjoy the ride and was like, "Get me off this ride! Not now, right now!" And that has lived in my brain rent free, as they say, for nigh on many years.
The difference between now and right now is not urgent enough.
Right now. But a guy, and he was a big guy. Just funny to think of like his kids were around him and just like, we had fun. Get me off this thing.
Wow.
That Six Flags, for some reason, you will hear more memorable quotes from strangers, I feel like, than any other theme park. Because, like, when Gio and I went to Fright Fest, it was like, there's like 10 quotes of like random, like when we heard the dad go, "Watch your brother, I got to go take a shit." Which I might not have exactly right, but that's the gist of it.
Everyone kind of cuts loose at a theme park, and even your language gets a little looser.
But see, Six Flags, everyone's comfortable. They're not.
Yeah,
Disney is so uptight and
No,
black
yeah.
tie affair. You know,
I have to use the lavatory. Watch you're my son and my daughter, of which you both know each other.
Six Flags, you can have a beer and a little pen and really cut loose.
That's what I wanted to do. I went to a Six Flags right after we recorded the episode last year, and I didn't know Magic Mountain had a Skycoaster.
Oh.
And I took a picture of myself very sad and mournful in front of the Skycoaster due to the incident. But I didn't want to wait in that beer pen.
Did you?
line.
How much was the Skycoaster? Do you remember?
I don't think I got close enough to see.
Okay, because we Sloppy Boys were just on tour, and we went past the 5 past the Magic Mountain, And I was like, oh, we should do this for an episode. Like, go there and basically what you guys do. But I looked up tickets. They're like $86. I was like, that's crazy. Off season. Like,
For Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
or just,
like
I don't
Magic
know.
Mountain's-
Maybe I just don't know prices for
You
things.
need to get the annual pass is like $95.
Yeah.
like
and it pays for itself in one.
yeah,
one
it's like
go.
it doesn't make sense to go once.
Yeah.
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 You have to go 5 times.
But
Right,
then I
right.
did that, and then I was like, oh, maybe the annual pass will make sense. I thought that before I went in, and then after spending 2 hours there,
did
I was
not-
like, I do not want to be back here. Yeah. There's also so many. I feel like deals are much easier to get for Six Flags than.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Bring
May
a
as well
can
just-
of Pepsi and you're
Yeah, bring
you're
a
in.
Yeah,
couple
we
Coke
don't remember
cans in
those.
the car, like scrounge around in the trunk.
I bet you could sneak in. I bet it's
Sure.
not that hard.
Yeah, it is just kind of like. At least that one's just sort of like against the hills. I don't think anybody's
Yeah.
Yeah.
checking.
You can jump a fence.
Yeah. Did I talk in that Six Flags episode about the flume ride that I went on? One of the only things I did that had like a kind of like a wheel that was powering the ride, where they just slathered on a bunch of tar, and I could have so easily stuck my hand in that tar and had my hand ripped. There's no barricade or a sign telling you not to. It's just my strongest memory of the day was it was like a cake frosting.
That's
It
why
was
you go to Six Flags, is for that, for those memories,
Yes.
for the tar, for the dad yelling at his kid, for
Well,
the
that and you go by the Midway and you see every like booth has a hose and they're just cleaning the walkways with hoses, and it's like, why are you just doing this? There's no one here. Surely a broom could do the same thing and not waste water in this barren Valencia landscape.
Especially there, yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a grim. So it was like fine, but then not. Did you feel like you wasted the teacher's money?
No, because it was fun at the time. But just looking back on it, it's like if I saw one now, it would be like, oh yeah, I gotta get a thrill. I'm gonna go up there again.
It's a quick ride.
It's very.
pretty
That's the
quick.
thing. It's very
Yeah,
quick.
It's like a roller coaster's longer,
Yeah.
so it's like like once you do it, it has to last like what, under a minute?
Yeah, because it's the initial
Yeah.
drop and then a few swing. It's not a lot of like swinging back and forth, especially if you're a light little kid. It's very short. You're just kind of like wee. You flick just sort of go back down like a leaf.
It's you're on your belly, which I don't like. This is another thing I don't like.
Yeah.
Being on my, I haven't done the Superman coaster or what's the other
Tatsu.
one? Tatsu. This is a thing I maybe will conquer one day, but I am afraid.
This is left on your fear list.
I'm
is
afraid
belly rides.
to be on my belly. It's like, we're doing for the baby. We're doing what they call it tummy time.
Oh,
You put the
yes.
baby on to get the baby to like get its head up, and I hate tummy time. For me,
For yourself.
on a coaster, whatever. You like it, I know.
Yeah, I'm like very.
You're pro.
You're a belly boy.
I'm a belly boy. Well, I can't fall asleep on my stomach, but as I'm trying to fall asleep, I'll do it for a minute or two, and then
Yeah,
I'll
I
roll
like
over.
sleeping on my stomach. Don't get me wrong.
I like sleeping on my stomach, but I can't convince myself to fall asleep on my stomach.
I can convince myself to fall asleep on my
Yep.
stomach. Yeah, it's not a good thing for my neck, maybe, but yeah, I know it makes me uncomfortable. The legs dangling makes me uncomfortable. Belly time on a roller coaster makes me uncomfortable.
Do you share any of it? Do you understand any of this, or these particular, or would you just kind of go on whatever?
I've been on Tatsu, I think.
Yeah,
And that was fun. But it was terrifying. It's like this.
Yeah.
When will this thing just open up and we fall into the little
Right.
forest down there?
If they would give me like a little extra something to hold on to, like
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
for like a train, like that loop on a train that I could hold on to or something, like just in case.
Yes, even just because I have to put my tension somewhere. I have to
Yeah.
like grind into at least little handles or something.
If it was like, or I got like a parachute.
yeah,
In case it opened up, then
Yeah.
I can just parachute safely down. Like something.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a proclivity one way or the other. I can ride them all, but I just haven't ridden a roller coaster in a long time. Actually, no. Remember earlier I said I was going to tell you a
oh
story?
yes, what's this?
At Coney Island this summer, I was there with Jace Armstrong and Nick Ciarelli in New York.
Oh, yes.
We did it. Nick and I did a 10K down there on the boardwalk, and then ran a little 10K race, and then
Wow.
we're there for the afternoon.
Pretty good.
And it's so funny. Those coasters down there, they had a brand new one called the Phoenix, and it's one of these ones where you're sitting, but your legs are dangling.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, yeah. And you the thing comes down around your chest, and you can hold on to the two grips in front of you, but it's so short. It was like you go up. I was like, I think there's a loop in this one, and it's really just like looks like a loop, but you're just kind of going sideways. The whole ride was probably 25 seconds.
Yeah.
But the thing that I loved the best was we got on, and I was wearing Crocs, and I didn't have the back strap done, and I was wearing sunglasses. And the guy came up who checked our seats, and he's like, "Hey, take your sunglasses off." I said, "Okay," and he's like, "And just switch your Crocs into sport mode." I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Put the loop around the ankle or the heel." I was like, "Oh, sport mode, right? If you want to get into some sporting stuff,
That's
put
a
the back
phrase.
part."
That's great.
And then the other guy came around. He's like, "It's not that rough. You'll be fine."
Sport mode not needed. Is that a popularized?
Yeah, really.
mode.
What is the sport mode on Crocs?
Has some,
Strange.
Sport mode is the heel strap is locked
when
in.
you put the strap around your ankle rather than wear them like a pair of clogs, says this weird official Crocs website.
I haven't thought of Crocs as being plastic clogs, but that's what they are.
That's all they are.
It is
all
funny,
they can be.
Because like I could see where a lot of things, like it's easy to things have flying off of you on some of these coasters.
Yeah.
Like Jason and I did hang time, and I think I said this already once. Hang time is at Knott's. It's the one that goes straight vertical
Whoa.
first, which scares the shit out of me. And I'm like clinging to the thing in front of me when we were doing it. I stupidly had my phone on me. They tell you to leave your phone. But I remember going, oh, how does this not happen all the time?
Oh my God! There must be underneath that roller coaster, that spot. There just must be like every night money and phones.
While
and
I'm going
Crocs.
vertical, I move my phone to like my butt
Yep.
pocket,
Yep.
and I'm sitting on it at an angle, so I'm already terrified of the 90-degree or whatever it is. Yeah,
And then you're uncomfortable. I know that feeling. You're like, I put it in my pocket and like try to get my pants as tight as possible there, so it like sticks the
Yeah,
the
and I
phone
was
tight.
at least wearing jeans at the time. Now I'm wearing these. What are they called? Joggers, and things fly out of them all the time.
Sure.
So I get why he would say like those Crocs are going to fly off. Put them in sport mode. I understand it.
I do appreciate when you're on a ride and the seat back in front of you has like a netting that you can like lock in.
Yeah.
Put your
Yes.
stuff in there.
Velcro netting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It often feels like it shouldn't work. Like something will shake it loose.
Yeah,
but I guess
none of it
Velcro
should
is
work.
pretty Strong. Don't worry about it.
I when I was back in Jersey, I went on that Gale Force roller coaster that I talked about on the Hometown Parks episode, and I gave my mom like my glass and hat to hold, and she's like, "Oh, you don't want me to take your phone?" I was like, "No, I want to take a picture in the line," and that's fine. My pants are really tight. And
You did?
My pants
I
are
wear
tight,
skinny
Mom.
jeans
my
now.
pants are tight. Yeah, that's fine. And then I get up to the line, and there's there's like bins on this cart with wheels on it, and they're like, empty your pockets. And I see you have to empty your pockets in this bin, and then someone is wanding you. Like metal detector wand. There, I was
Really?
like, there was like
That's a
8
new-
people loading this ride. I was like, this is the most
Whoa.
efficient thing. And I was like, I just have a phone. And he's like, oh, just put it in there. We wheel that on like next
Most
to the
of
car.
them don't get stolen.
Yeah, but he's like, no, we wheel it, and then
wheel it next to the car.
No, they wheel it like you go past like a turnstile, and he's like, yeah, we wheel it around to that, and no one gets to those besides the people in the car.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was like, okay, that is surprisingly like you guys have your shit together more
Yeah.
than some bigger parks.
Is it just so like they're wanting you for a set of keys so they don't fly out and
Well, so
hit
they
somebody?
don't fly out, yeah, for sure, and they don't hit someone
Yeah.
or they don't get lost. But then it was like a lot of like back and forth and vertical corkscrews.
Would you have lost your-
And yeah, I probably
Yeah.
would have lost everything.
Yeah,
Lost
everything.
I would have.
come back a broken man,
Yeah,
He keeps
Funds
his
my house.
he keeps his
financially
life-
ruined.
Jason keeps his life savings on him at all times.
yeah. When they load you off, they're like, "Did you lose it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "All right, the barrels with straps on them are right there. Put it on, brother."
There should be an armrest like storage on coasters.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like in a
that's
car.
cool.
That would have been
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
good. Just put them in there and close it.
You ever been on a jet ski before?
No.
No.
They
Scared.
have
Too scared.
They have little the 2 or 3 times I've been on. They have little compartments you put your phones and stuff in, and then it's supposedly waterproof. But I'm like, I don't know who owns this jet ski. Where is this waterproof? I don't want water on any of my stuff.
Did you try it?
I did because I'm not going to leave it at the jet ski place.
So you rented a jet ski and then it's exactly like in a car.
Yeah, it's like
in
this one
between
was
your
like right in
legs.
front of you. Yeah.
Okay. Jet ski recommend?
I'd recommend, especially
Yeah.
if you're in the right area. I was down in where was I? Sarasota, Florida. My parents had a little vacation place there. I went down to visit them.
Oh, cool.
And boy, we the three of us were on 2 jet skis. And at first, my dad was like, "Okay, just 1 jet ski." I'm like, "We're getting 2 jet skis." And the 3 of us are not going to be on a jet ski together.
That's an odd
and I'm
dad,
I'm not
son
sharing with
jet
anyone. I am getting the lone jet ski.
It's like a jet ski built for 3. Like 3 different handlebars.
The family that is excited about that possibility, getting some real time together.
get on there.
All of us in tandem. On
Well,
a
that
jet
kind
ski.
of goes back to when you asked me if I had a picture of me on the swing.
Oh yeah.
On the skyrocket.
I forgot it was that
Skycoaster.
long ago. Like, of course you. I didn't know. I forgot if it was last 5
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Or so.
Well, when you asked me, I was like, no, I don't get pictures on roller coasters. That was like a Hanford, like, no way we're spending extra money to get a picture of us on the thing we were just on.
Sure.
So
yeah.
just the same thing with the jet ski. It's like, oh yeah, all 3 of us in one. No, we can splurge now that we're full adults.
yeah. I'd say so. Did you do coaster ad? That seems like a thing your parents would teach too. Like.
Once or twice. Like I have a real old one on a Scooby-Doo roller coaster, and then I have one on the Incredible Hulk with my dad.
Oh, well, that's
From like 2003, and that's
okay,
nice.
okay.
And that was the most surplus plastic frame. So like, as soon as I like tried to take to my college dorm room, like a chip came out of the corner of it. As soon as I put it in a box, it was like, oh, the cardboard made the plastic chip.
Were you were displaying that in your college dorm?
Well, yeah, I had some picture. Yeah, I had pictures of
Okay.
family and stuff. It was also cool. It had the Hulk.
Well,
and
that's
it
what,
had
that's
little
what
logos.
I'm not saying the family thing is weird. I'm saying like you have a big like Hulk, like Hulk display from
I mean,
Universal.
it was just up on the bookshelf, you know.
Out of the way, no one's getting hurt
It was
here.
at the East Tower.
Yes,
It was
sure.
You know, you were there.
Oh right. Oh yeah. I forgot.
You were there for a couple years.
We called that room. Yes, okay. So you were the one with the Hulk picture because we were like, God, that whoever's in that Hulk room is pulling on some chicks, man.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Do you think the chip in the plastic is gonna hurt his chick chances? Nah, the
No.
chip's gonna be fun. The chicks don't care about the chip.
no, he put that massive dictionary his mother gave him, like with his graduation gift. He put that massive paper dictionary that you would never need again.
You were sent to college with a big dictionary?
Yes, yeah, a new alarm clock and a big dictionary, and it held up the alarm clock. And,
I had a picture in my room. So when I moved into, I think junior year in the Emerson Suites.
Yeah, the air conditioned one.
Yeah.
With your own bathroom.
Own bathroom.
Did you guys overlap in dorm rooms?
No.
Not rooms. You'd remember if you were roommates, but yeah, buildings rather.
We, my grandmother for
Did we
some
say
reason.
Ithaca is Ithaca, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My grandmother was with me to like as I moved in. I don't know why she couldn't help, but she was there, and we took a picture in the dorm room, just her and I, and then that picture got developed, put in a frame, and given to me at like Christmas. So then I had that in the dorm room, the room I was in, or like Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was like, so here's a picture of me and Grandma. Right, we were right here,
Yeah, we would
and I
talk
still have
about
that picture. It's a lovely picture, and
That's
I love the grandma.
We would talk about that dorm. We'd be like, have you guys been to the puzzle dorm room? Have you been to the MC Escher dorm room where there's a picture of
That
the
guy
dorm
sucks.
room?
Picture within the picture.
Yeah.
Who's he trying to impress? In these smarty pants
He's impressing
pictures?
nobody. I'm standing by the door. Hey, anyone want to see the crazy ride? Come in and see the crazy picture.
Picture taken right in this spot. All right. What else can we say about these things? Oh well, here's the thing. Okay, so the biggest one of these. See if you recall any of this from a year ago, because there were a couple of colorful characters. I
remember you had some crazy.
Yeah, there were a couple of weird. I didn't quite remember them myself, but so the biggest one of these that exists is at Fun Spot, which is in Kissimmee, sort of near all the parks down there, Disney World. It's 300 feet tall, so that's the craziest one of these sky coasters you can do. And when it opened, somebody, one of the ultimate daredevils that ever was at the opening, inaugurating it. And there's a picture, Jordan, if we have it. This is 82-year-old water skier Banana George Blair. There
Whoa!
he is.
Yeah.
You remember this at all? There's Banana George. He's an old man who in this photo is water skiing barefoot, and holding it with his mouth, and he's holding two bananas. He's in an all yellow jumpsuit, and he's holding bananas in both hands.
Wow,
This is
I'm just
crazy
reading
guy,
the stuff
right?
on it, starring a new movie.
Yeah, with Ernest Borgnine and Artie Johnson from Laughing.
Yeah, he also this is a headshot that he
Fred
signed in
Banana.
'95, so he's in his 70s maybe here.
Wow.
He water skied a lot at Cypress Gardens, and at the time, yes, he seems to have been promoting a new film, Captiva Island, with Ernest Borgnine and Artie Johnson. Wow.
What is that number there? 84/12? Is that a fraction? What is that?
Yeah, he puts he just signs it Banana, like his name is Banana.
No, he's got Fred up there.
Then, and then the date, and then 80. Oh, is that maybe that's his age.
Yeah, 80, but
80 and
4/12.
4/12.
Wherever
That's gotta be it, right?
Reduces down to
Yeah.
1/3.
Well, he doesn't know math. He doesn't know fractions of fractions.
80
he
and
knows
one.
water skiing.
He does it
with his
because he's
mouth.
in the 4th month of the 12 is for the. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get why that's easier.
I sort of do
12
it
months a
with
year,
my
he's in the 4th month.
toddler, but it's weird to do it with an old man. But it's kind of neat. It created a little mystery we had to solve. This guy's
George
pretty
Blair.
interesting in general, even regardless of the Ernest Borgnine film, which seemed too dreadful even to look at, even on this podcast.
Oh, I'm so dumb. I
I'm
said
looking
Fred.
for it
Fred is the
right
person he's
now.
making it out to.
Oh, right.
Gotcha,
Okay,
gotcha.
okay.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Fred Banana.
Oh, I kind of missed the Fred too. It was in the darkness of the trees.
Well, he did that, I think, because it's like, I want all the glory here. Put Banana on the white, Fred up in the dark part where I can't read it.
This isn't about you. It's about me, Banana, and my 80 and
Look at him, he's got
4/12th
his-
birthday.
He's holding on to that with his
Isn't
teeth.
that's wild? Regardless of the age of the man, I don't think I realized people did this water ski with their mouth.
Yeah.
Only gripping
Yeah.
We've talked about various things we're afraid of, and then we're watching an old man all hanging on by his teeth.
Yeah, wow.
by
That's
his
impressive.
chompers.
Yeah, I've seen an old man pull a car with his teeth, but waters?
I've only seen an old man eat with his teeth. No. That's
them
nothing.
can't
I
even
still
do
got his
that.
autograph.
Hey, good eating. Just want to remember this. Put it next to my grandma in
Would
the
you
dorm.
mind?
All the
signing my
fresh
plate?
water and salt water for this guy, he looks much better than Evel Knievel did in later years.
Yeah.
Did Evel Knievel live harder, perhaps?
Yeah,
I
that's-
think he
I-
did.
I don't know everything. I don't know much about him, but that'd be my guess from his vibe.
I don't
yes.
think Banana here was falling from a great height very regularly.
Yeah, I guess not. So, but he encountered a tough life for Banana. The reason that he took up water sports and daredevil kind of stuff, because he had back injury for many years.
Oh, now take it back.
Because in the Great Depression, a gang of violent hobos threw him from a moving boxcar after an argument over some beans.
No.
Whoa, I'm sorry. I missed it.
Shut up.
I missed the beginning of that.
Copy and pasted this.
When did that happen?
During the Great Depression.
Wow.
When he was alive, and I don't know what age. That's just. I mean, I guess I accept that there were a lot of hobos in the Great Depression, but that the fight. We know that the fight wasn't over just anything; that it was over beans.
So the Abe
damn.
Simpson and the guy who actually created it, Itchy and Scratchy, through this water skiing van, this pre-water skiing
These
van.
blintzes are
Named
lousy.
Banana.
Wow. This is
Yeah, and he overcame that and still
Wow.
and got to inaugurate the Skycoaster.
And that's how he had his back injury?
Yeah. So up through his 40s, he was very inactive.
So he
and
got beaten by the Bindles?
that you could guess that. I would
Yeah.
assume. Yeah. I mean, unless the hobos are stronger with kicking than the
That's a good
Bindles
point.
are going to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You can get a lot of force with those.
I'm guessing
That'll-
loose boards, loose planks were used.
Okay.
Oh, maybe.
That's what I just pictured.
Probably a lot of those around during the
Sure.
Depression
How
for
are-
boarding up businesses that are closing.
Jason, how are you picturing this hobo assault?
I just some low blows, some dirty shots, you know.
Constant low blows.
Low blows, some like kicks,
Old boxers,
kicks
yeah.
from behind, kick to the knee, you know.
Okay.
Kick to the, and probably like a big kick to the butt to
So
send
no
him out
foreign-
of the boxcar.
No foreign objects.
No honor, you know. No foreign. Well, no,
among
maybe some
hobos.
foreign objects, you know.
Okay. I just wanted to see how you saw it since you lived it.
Since I was one of the boxcar children. Nice
Yeah, yeah.
first one up.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh, can I amend mine? Now I'm picturing a big katana blade. Sort of, he pulls it out of the sheath. It glints in the moonlight.
Okay, all right.
And one swoop loses his head.
That's exciting. Honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing now. Ooh, and then an Uzi.
Yeah.
One other question about it maybe is that it was an argument over some beans, and you think like, hey, those are my beans. But what if it was an argument over which beans are best?
Yo,
Oh,
okay.
beans weren't there.
Pinto, kidney. Pinto, kidney.
I like peas. Get them. Is pea a
Peas
bean?
ain't
Pea's
beans.
got to be a bean, right?
What's that?
Pea is a bean.
Maybe
No?
technically at the end of the, I mean,
It's in a
Is it?
pod. Maybe not.
I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it is. That's why I got beat up.
we'll look into it.
They're green. They're green. That's for sure. Okay.
This we know. No fighting needed about that. We do have there is a clip here. If you want to throw your headphones back on, this is a clip of Banana George Blair appearing on Regis and Kathy Lee.
Oh, wow.
It's a little quiet, I know. It's mainly about what we're seeing.
Whoa.
The kid is he water skis onto the
boy.
show.
Oh,
He's
my goodness.
pulled by
cool
a man.
suit.
He's in a full yellow like suit and then cowboy hat. And then here, listen really closely for what he says to Kathy Lee. Okay.
I knew you were gorgeous. I didn't know you
Wow.
were dynamite, too.
We could stop it there. I knew you were gorgeous. I didn't know you were dynamite too.
And he takes, you know what's good about that is he doesn't throw it away. He makes a real meal out of it.
He pauses. That's
Yeah.
what freaks me out.
Yeah.
He really, if you
Yeah.
aren't looking at this, he really locks eyes
Yeah,
with
yeah.
her, waits for the audience to die down.
Yeah.
Look
didn't,
into my eyes.
I couldn't hear it, but the whole exchange was intense.
Yes.
My
yeah.
headphones don't work.
Menacing. It was menacing, yeah.
Hey, me and George got sort of the same color scheme going on here.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So we
Hey,
might have yelled.
Banana Mike Hanford today.
I can water ski. I should try it. I should take up the mantle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of doing an homage to Banana George Blair.
And now he's shoeless because he came out of the water skis.
yeah,
So
that's
he's got
true
bare
that he
feet.
does all this with bare feet. Yeah, boy, oh boy.
The hat looks like, almost like it's, well, I guess I was going to say it almost looks like a Wisconsin, like, cheese hat or something. But I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
it's just the color. It's like a brighter yellow. It might be verging on orange. But, yeah, his whole gimmick is banana.
Did you guys ever have in high school or something, grade school or middle school, like a teacher who had a thing? Like we had a teacher who liked pigs, so she had a bunch of like pig ornaments around, or like a stuffed animal pig on her desk, and like that was her thing. Did you guys ever come across anyone like that who just like their thing was? Ooh. I mean, there's like Beanie Baby people, obviously, but like
Yeah.
somebody who's like, I remember being at a church once, and the head of the church liked frogs, and there was a little area with like stuffed frogs and stuff.
An altar? Secondary to Christ on the cross?
Yeah. I was like, what kind of church is this?
I think I had a teacher. I'm trying to think, like Panda Bear. Like maybe my third grade teacher, like it was Panda Bears.
Yeah,
was like the
yeah.
thing. There was like an identity. Like somebody's really trying hard to have an identity.
And it's like you can always get that person a gift if it's like, oh, a little
Yeah.
pig coaster. Here you go. Happy birthday.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was a teacher in high school who got him. I didn't get him this. Somebody else got him a pen that with the ladies' clothes would fall off. So his thing was he was like a creep. There were a couple of those
Yeah,
guys
we had
in
a
high
couple.
school.
I had a
yeah.
couple of those.
I like
They were
pornographic pens.
escorted out some days, and I never saw them again.
There, you know what? I sorry to get off here on a tangent.
This is the one to do it.
Yeah, you're right. There was a teacher who was like, after y'all graduate, we all go out to Hooters together.
Whoa.
And then like we were like, well, ha 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 ha, yes. And then nobody went because we were like, this is so
Right.
weird. But he went, and then one of our friends went, and he still denies he went. What? We go like, you went with him, and he's like, no, I didn't. We were like, you did go. We know you went. And then that teacher, I've heard, may have been arrested for stealing a credit card and calling like a porno line from school, I think.
Stealing.
I don't know if this is real. I've not confirmed this story or
Yikes.
not, but it makes sense because he was also saying inappropriate things about our female friend. at the time.
Oh my God.
He would
sort of makes sense.
yeah, I guess if you think about it, it all adds up. He would be like, guys, you got a beautiful woman. Why didn't you put her more in your movie here? And he said it like loudly in front of the class. It was like he was teaching like film in high school.
And like, no, let me teach you how to light a beautiful lady.
Yeah, and there was one time when it was like you have to cast a movie or something, and I think I cast Jessica Alba, and he goes, I want to congratulate you, sir. He like shakes my hand and he goes, for putting the Dark Angel in your script.
Wow.
Ew.
I think I have 10
sir.
more stories now that I think about this guy.
Wow.
Oh, keep them coming.
That's
insane.
He would say, well, I think the issue with kids and the sex is that we need more dances. You need more high school dances because that gets the energy like
Whoa.
And I was like, I don't think that's actually.
First of all, sir, you don't need to have an opinion about the high school sex at all. Don't worry
put those
about
words anywhere near each other.
The question is, when is the half day over tomorrow?
Okay, one more.
Yeah.
It's the senior brunch. We're just about to graduate. And he comes over to sit at the table. And he's talking about the same female friend. And he goes, all right, guys, I'm just going to say it. Now, this person's name is Hot.
What?
Whoa.
And we were like,
No.
oh.
And she was there?
I think she had gotten up.
Okay.
I go,
God.
yeah, this is her boyfriend right here.
Whoa.
And he goes, well, I'd like to shake your hand, sir.
Wow, he gets a lot of
Shaking
congratulations and handshakes.
I'm
out there.
uncomfortable with the handshaking.
Yeah.
It's physical contact as
Interesting.
much as he's able to do with the high schoolers who he clearly wants to do more with.
There were so many people that should not have been teaching.
Did he seem like a person who was just like so off the wall, like had no idea, like not to excuse any of this behavior, but just like, oh, I have no idea how to talk to anybody. This is how I speak.
All these people.
Or was he like, ooh, I'm going to be I'm a creepy guy?
He didn't know he was being creepy. He thought he was one of the
He
boys.
thought he was being cool.
He thought he was being cool.
Which
yeah.
is
By the way,
so-
the person I'm talking
also
about
so
listens to the show
inappropriate.
too, the female.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, does she know all of this?
I'm pretty sure she does. I think we've
Does she
said it
know?
many
She
times.
knows that she is who this is, even though her name was not said.
I'm sure she does.
Okay.
It would be
Apologies about
hard
everything.
to-
You got up from the table at just the right time. Good job. The best glass of punch you ever got.
Yeah.
I mean, she would have been well within her rights to just look him dead in the eye and just say, gun.
What?
Gun. Like, no one would convict you for the court of law for making a threat to this man.
Right.
Sure.
That's such a terrifying
God.
move.
Yeah.
If you just listen.
Yeah.
I know. He just scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, sure.
That's
Like,
what you
I-
thought we were gonna do when you pulled up this morning.
I was.
Gun.
I have like.
I think hold on. I think I do
sorry.
really need to make the point. I do not condone this. When I was like, was he this or this? I'm not making any excuse for
Well,
this.
it all depends.
No.
You're right.
I
There's
felt like I
certain
need to make
people-
that clear.
It's,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
good. You
it's
can't be too
interesting.
careful.
It's interesting to see where these people are coming from because I literally can. I think 70% of the teachers I haven't had in high school grossly irresponsible,
Right.
saying crazy stuff, and most of them I would just say were completely out of it. Mm-hmm. Like had just been doing the job too long and maybe never should have been doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's got their own like where they're coming from spot.
Like this guy seems like any job he would have, he would be behaving that way.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
Yes, and also these teachers are performers, and they're
Yeah.
having fun expressing themselves.
Right.
Too,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the, believe it or not, a lot of people's ideas are bad.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be right.
A lot of people, yeah.
We had a teacher who we knew we could manipulate into just putting on a movie and dropping everything, for the thinnest of reason. And my friends and I in high school were getting into like, let's find kind of the weirdest videos we can find at the VHS rental place. And thus we, in school, got the teacher to put on a movie called The Sex Machine. This is, and it's crazier even than just like a guy and yeah, I'm the sex machine. It is about a literal sex machine. This is an Italian sex comedy from the 70s that we found dubbed, and it's a movie about an apocalyptic future where we're running out of fuel, but a brilliant doctor figures out how to harness the electricity, the friction of sex.
Oh, wow.
And use so that all of our sex fuels like all the world's electricity. And I remember the teacher that we put it on.
Did it work?
It worked, but it went too far. He by the end, he's grimacing at the world he created. Where people, I think where it ends up, it's actually kind of smart. It ends up at like people only have sex in a functional way. No one does it for fun anymore.
Good.
This is what Mike wants.
Good, yeah.
Well, you see your dream world in the sex machine. I remember that the teacher is the first time that there were naked breasts. Again, this is my doing. I apologize.
What
I
grade?
got naked breasts to be shown in this high school classroom in this movie, and the teacher said, "Is this pornography being shown in my classroom?" And then proceeded to keep the movie on.
I just am curious. I don't want it. Go on.
Which I recommend if you can find The Sex Machine. This is genuinely a brilliant film. Actually, I love it.
You kids are getting a kick out of it. So am I.
I'm just making sure this is pornography, and if so, great.
This is all. Mine looks very wholesome now because I had a 7th grade geography teacher who went to the University of Tennessee and clearly really loved it because he had so much orange Tennessee Vols. The Tennessee Volunteers is their football team. He just had so much on the walls. He had sweater vests. He had sweaters. He had windbreakers. And then his son, who was like a year behind me, started wearing Tennessee Vols stuff. And looking back, I'm like, where did you get all this stuff? You couldn't order it online. Like, I know there's college supply. There are college sports stores, but I was like, it's just impressive because then he'd pull out a new coffee mug or a new hat, and I'd be like, how much is there?
Wow.
Well, that's an interesting point about the internet, like not being able to order online, because it's like, somebody who likes the pigs or the Vols or the frogs, like when you see something, you go like, I gotta get this thing because I might not come across it ever again.
If you're traveling or something, you gotta grab it. Yeah. Huh. Well, we were all taught by a bunch of weirdos.
Straight up lunatics.
Clearly.
I could do an hour on it. On all those stories from high
this
school.
guy, no, hold on to him. Let's keep talking about him.
was-
We need a code for this, Professor Hooter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's also not the funniest one of all either. He's maybe like 3 or 4 on the list.
The Hooters thing is so funny too. Is like, no, we're not going to Hooters with you, and also we don't want to hang out with the teachers at all.
No,
yes.
Like least of all at a Hooters, but even at a Denny's.
although a student teacher came over to watch wrestling with us once.
Oh, but that's nice. There's nothing.
He was 22.
Okay. Not close.
17, 18 we were.
Okay. In the interest of having actual things about, you got something?
You mentioned the Fun Spot Orlando one, and I believe that one was originally at the MGM Grand Adventures in Las Vegas.
Oh yes,
and it moved when that shut down in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that was at the MGM Grand theme park that used to be in Las Vegas, and I think it outlasted the theme park. Apparently,
Yes.
they kept it up even when the theme park closed. I have a commercial for it, but the sound was pretty bad to begin with, so I'll just describe what happens in the commercial. There is a guy, it's like heavy heartbeat. The guy is rising up and like beginning his Skycoaster journey. I forget what they called it there, but it doesn't matter. I don't need the name. So he's like getting ready to go on this thing.
Screamer?
Could be.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. So anyways, the guy looks nervous, and the voiceover is saying, "You've got a house, you've got kids, you've got a minivan, but right now the only thing you want is your mommy." And then he drops, and then you watch this guy fly much higher than the MGM Grand, which is a very tall hotel. And if this thing is at most 300 feet, there is no way that it is higher than the MGM Grand. But that mommy thing, that's fantastic. That's great, like extreme. That's a great like 90s era.
You like your mommy.
Yeah.
That could be an ad for that or like Wild Cherry Pepsi. Either one.
Yeah.
That attitude
wild.
too is very 90s commercial, like that
kind of
cadence.
voice.
And,
Rising up, like so, like nasal to like the way maybe the devil might be.
or a bug maybe.
Yeah, well, yes, he's the king of that sort of voice. Yes, and, you know.
I watched a video, just someone's home movies. There's on YouTube, and they were riding it in Wildwood. I think there was one or two on the boardwalk or on a pier in Wildwood, New Jersey. And the Red Hot Chili Peppers are playing the entire time.
Beautiful.
Perfect. I feel like that's what's got to be playing when you get
Which
get on
song?
one of these.
I think it was like.
All right, got it.
Ooh, that's good.
You know,
I know which one. I know which one it is.
I don't want to say it's about California, but the chorus is about California, but it's not Californication.
Is it
Is it Danny California?
Yes,
Yeah,
right,
okay,
right.
yeah.
It's Danny California.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name. So that's playing, and then the people holding it are kind of narrating, and it's just very nice to hear someone from the tri-state area going like, "Oh, I want to get on that for $1 million. I'm not getting on that, John." That's, listeners, if you don't know your regional lingo, John in around Philadelphia and New Jersey, John means any item. Anything can. John just
What?
means thing.
Thing?
Like,
Huh.
Wow.
that John. Can you hand me that John over there? The Fiji John.
What is it? What are they?
There's John's.
The situation you just put me in, you really needed to add more.
Oh.
That this system doesn't work at all.
Fiji John.
There's a
He
bunch
said-
of items over where you're pointing. How
The
did you
John.
live
He
like
said
this?
Fiji John.
Yeah, the
He
John.
did,
the
but
Fiji,
when you
the
only
John.
said John, I didn't know what to do.
Is this something that's you say, but you got rid of it when you came out to LA?
I never said John a lot. I don't think I learned it until like pre-teen or teen years, and then I started clocking that
I've
some
never
people
heard
call
this
it thing
before.
John.
Have you ever heard this
No,
before?
I'm wondering what it's like. Jon? John.
JAWN. John.
Oh,
John.
is that? I'm wondering
Wow.
like what that is coming for, like a shorter version of something.
I don't know the origins of it.
Interesting.
I should look it up, but I
John.
mean, it's to the point where, like, if you're at the Philadelphia airport, you can buy Eagles or Flyers shirts that say, like, John on it.
Eastern
Like,
Pennsylvania used to refer to a thing, place, person, or event that one need not or cannot give a specific name to. Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like, oh, pass me that thing over there. Like you're pointing.
Yeah.
You just can't think of the word or something.
Huh. Yeah, I guess it could just stand in for anything. Huh. But
it only kind of works with that accent though. Like if I was like, oh, could you pass me that John?
Yeah.
That wouldn't
John.
sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
It doesn't
fuck
sound
do you
fun.
want?
Like wrestlers will say like gimmick. Give me that gimmick right there. Yeah, give me that gimmick over
An
there.
item is a gimmick?
Yeah. Like
I don't
Steve,
put-
if
what
you
are
listen to
we-
Steve Austin's podcast, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he'll be like, the gimmick right there.
Huh.
Uh-huh.
What are we trying to get around by not naming the item? Seems pretty easy to just say what you want.
There's so many versions of this, like doodad or like
Right.
Yeah.
thingamajig.
I guess so.
I get what it, but I just never heard that.
Yeah, I've
Gimmick
never heard
for
it either.
John?
And I've known this guy for a long time.
Yeah.
He's never said it. He's never enlightened me about it.
I don't think, we didn't really say it in my house. It wasn't until like middle school or high school where someone's like, John, a John.
I want you to start using it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, try to just slip one in the rest of the episode. Just try to refer to something as a John in the context that
Oh, sure.
a Pennsylvanian would.
But watching that video and then watching, they of course have it at Six Flags Great Adventure in North Jersey and your beloved Wisconsin Dells.
Yes.
It's there. And the thing that dawned on me is like, if something goes wrong, the last thing you will see is Six Flags or the Wisconsin Dells or the Jersey Shore. And take that as you will, because I think some people would be like thrilled at that. Like, well, there's worse things to see when you're going out. You know?
Be thrilled to die in the
Just-
Wisconsin Dells.
yeah. I mean, there's worse ways to go, I guess. So,
Yeah, I guess.
no.
Now you say that, but they are proud of the Skycoaster people are proud. There's never been an accident with one of these. For
Really?
something that does
Incredible.
seem a little precarious. Yeah,
Better than
it's never-
Bungie.
It's incredibly.
We're better than Bungie.
Yes, we looked it up. 5 deaths just since 2015. Never with the Skycoaster.
Amazing.
That's some information that comes courtesy of the inventor of the Skycoaster. Maybe you recall us
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
this guy
Yes, I
last
think this
time.
guy had a funny-
We have a photo. His name
Hey,
is Bill Kitchen.
whoa.
Isn't it
Wow.
nice to look
Oh,
at?
man.
I would never have expected the person who made a amusement park swing look like that.
to be so professorial.
Yeah.
This guy's got sort of a funny look to it. Yeah, he's very scholarly.
It's like a Sears portrait studio.
Yeah,
in the background.
I mean, I like him, and I love that this.
Coat fits him well. Nice tie.
Yes, yeah, they go together color scheme wise. You look at this esteemed person, not only the inventor of what we're talking about, Skycoasters, but also the inventor of.
There he is.
Let's look closer into his
Somewhat
eyes
of a
and
mustache.
think this is the inventor of indoor skydiving. Wow.
Wow.
He started the company Sky Venture that eventually became iFly, which is the thing we did at City Walk with Paul Scheer. You ever done that? You ever indoor
No,
skydiving?
those look fun though.
They're
the
pretty
big
fun,
two,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. There's a yeah.
Is it hard to get?
It's pretty hard to like
There's a
get
learning-
your
there's a
center
learning
of
curve.
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're maybe all proud that we got like 2 seconds of unassisted. Like we
wow.
are actually.
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You were Mike is a tall man.
was a little hard for me.
flailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guys who are really good at it, that like zip all around. That's wild.
Yeah. The people who get to do it all day, like the experts.
Yeah.
Of it.
The
Clearly
experts
fun,
are
but-
good, and then I think we saw like a kid, like a 12 or 13-year-old kid go in, and like an old hand just went in and started flipping around and
Wow.
going up high, and it's like, oh my god, how long has this kid been doing this?
Yeah.
And you got to commit to it. Like you have to
Oh,
take
yeah.
classes
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get to actual enjoyment.
Yeah, I think you do have to like. You could tell there were people there even when we did it at City Walk who were like
Pro,
That was
like a
like,
little
yeah,
more
that was their
professional.
like maybe more than once weekly.
Yeah,
trip.
yeah.
So where did how did this guy get into the industry? He didn't do anything close to ride design. He went skydiving and he liked it, and he thought, is there a way, in his words, is there a way to simulate skydiving without having to jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Perfect. Yeah, he doesn't want to waste
Interesting phrase.
airplanes, I guess. The wear and
Sky looks so
tear.
nice. Why clutter it up with airplanes and
Bunch
people?
of junk up there. So he drew on a dinner napkin an idea of like this very simple, as we've referred to. It's like it's one stick and another stick, and he built a little model of it. And here's his quote. My girlfriend at the time looked at it and said, "You've gone crazy. You don't know anything about amusement rides." And even if you did, nobody would do that.
Oh, man.
Nobody would get on that John for $1 million.
Hey.
So I got rid of the girlfriend and built the ride, which became one of the fastest selling rides in the
I
world.
mean, yeah, if you're
Dump
with
the
someone who's
girl.
not going to support you, it will just shoot your idea down.
That's true.
But
yeah.
maybe
I
he
like
had
this guy. I don't
maybe
want him
he had other
getting-
like crazy ideas leading on other napkins at other dinners. He's like, this is a hot dog you can ride to work. No one's gonna do that. That's stupid.
It's
So
a
this
modern
might have
bindle
just been
that
her.
will solve any arguments about beans. Why did the bindles disappear in the 30s?
That just may have been her stock response. Like he's drawing. He's like, yeah, no one's gonna do that. You're crazy.
A pile of napkins,
You
200 high.
You know nothing about theme parks.
All you do is write down ride ideas, and you don't ask me how I'm doing.
What's
He's like
my
a famous
name?
author.
Yeah.
Anne Rice.
Yeah.
So yeah, this rogue renegade man went on to like invent all this big stuff, and
He looks like a guy he will not take no for an answer.
Yeah, I think so. He's no nonsense, and yet he did. Maybe you guys remember this from before. He did find himself in a precarious situation. Not all is well in the world of Bill Kitchen.
I
And
forgot
apologies
his name.
for not having the if the sound is a struggle here. But do we have the clip, which I think I called Kitchen Robbery?
A new first-hand account tonight from the victim of a terrifying ninja robbery. Bill Kitchen, who is well known for building amusement park rides, was robbed last week in his Windermere mansion. Western Lake Today reports Kitchen says he saved his life by giving the men everything they wanted.
It's a lot, even if you guys didn't hear that, a lot to
Right.
look at here. Bill Kitchen under the big news phrase "ninja robbers." He was part of the inventor of Skycoasters was involved in a ninja robbery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any confirmation these were actual ninjas, or were they just dressed in black and head to toe?
That's a question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Were they?
And can you
Flip
call
around.
yourself a ninja? Do you have to complete a series? Like, how do you get designated a ninja?
Well-
Yeah. Are there modern ninjas? That's a.
Yeah, I
That's
feel like
interesting.
being
Gotta be.
seen and captured on camera, you're automatically out. Like, you are not a ninja. If they're
Yeah,
like,
you're right, 'cause
we
you're not
got
doing
you from
things
a couple
stealthily.
angles, pal. Like, you're supposed to be invisible.
Oh wait, that's right. Yeah, we see his eyes in the security camera. That's instant not ninja
Wait, is he
right
wearing
there.
the ninja wearing a hat?
Yes.
That could have been Kitchen's hat, though. He could have been like, "Hey, I'm taking this." Boop.
Give me everything in the house. Like that hat. Hey,
My
give me
hands
that-
are full. Put that
Yeah,
fedora
he's
on
wearing
my
like
head.
a fedora.
Yeah.
The ninja, first of all, it looks like the ninja's wearing like a black sweatshirt and like a ski mask.
They look a little more maybe out of shape than I think a ninja would
Then
be.
you think yes,
Because I picture ninjas doing like kind of acrobatic type moves around to get to the shadows and.
Yeah.
Is
Finding the shadows at all. First, I think Bill is more in the shadows than the ninjas are.
Did Bill say they were ninjas, or is this the news editorializing again?
It might be them trying to like
Do a little
get
fun-
clicks, make it
Yeah,
more
yeah,
sensational because ninja robbery jumps out. But aren't ninjas? I don't know. Don't they fight for what's right?
Well, not the Foot
Well,
Clan.
Oh,
are
they're
ninjas.
ninjas too.
Depends on
Okay,
what
okay.
clan you're aligned with.
I know a
and,
lot about ninjas. I'm wearing
Yeah.
a shirt. I have a lot of toys.
If these guys were dressed in like red, the headline would be like, "Is this kitchen got robbed by Santa Clauses today?" Did the exact opposite of what they usually do.
It was green mocap suit wearers. Was it Andy Serkis?
They they fill in like the CGI character on the news. Jar Jar Binks robbed Bill Kitchen today.
Is that even Bill Kitchen? Who knows? He's bound. It looks like his arms are bound behind him though.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
hat. Yeah, the hat. No, that's
The
not
hat's
ninja
funny.
behavior.
The sort of like Tommy Bahamas style hat. It's
Yeah.
an island casual hat on top
did they
of a ninja.
did they chop him at all, or did they give him a kick? Like that would maybe suggest a
I know.
ninja.
Was a hi-ya involved?
Yeah, like I don't think this is the news media run amok. This is something that is not good for the people to consume.
This is getting clicks,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
fell for it. We love it.
We do love it. Yeah, that's true.
They're propagating the myth of ninja robberies.
Yeah. It's it's like Danny from the Ninja Turtles 1 movie. The kid, the kid from Ninja Turtles 1 who gets taken in the Foot Clan, and that's I don't even think it's their Danny level. I don't think.
Oh, damn.
Sub Danny.
Or no
Sub
Danny.
Danny,
Yeah.
California.
My ninja name is Danny California. Anyway, Bill Kitchen's still at it. He's trying to build a thing called the polar coaster. Do we have a photo of the polar coaster? Just imagine
There he
it
is.
coming out
That
of his
was a-
mind.
Whoa.
Whoa.
This is
That's
something
awesome.
he's trying to make happen. Or actually, let me be clearer here. On the right is the polar coaster. On the left is the Sky Spire. They're similar. They're big towers. But one, I think, is a leisurely observation deck.
Yeah.
These
Cool.
exist. We've all done these where you go up in an elevator and look at the city from a pod kind of thing. But one, you get like a cooler ride on the way up. So one's very casual, and the other one is a daring, high-octane coaster that's sort of, if we know this guy uses cocktail napkins, the design of the right feels very cocktail. It looks like he just kind of
Yeah, yeah.
scribbled wherever. And
And then you go this way, and then it could like have a loop, and like, oh my god.
and then like, poof, and down, back up again.
How does it get up? Is it like do you go in the middle there? Is it like a vertical climb? Do we know?
Or maybe you get up. Maybe it goes both ways. You could get up from the ride.
No. How?
Or-
Do you get down from the? Do you take an elevator up?
I bet it's
Low?
Maybe it's
elevator.
a-
I bet it's elevator.
Maybe it's a circular a
It's
track that is
unclear because you'd have to
connected.
really launch to have the force to get up from the start. Like if you use the same track.
Oh, and to keep climbing and keep. Well, maybe the coaster goes down, but look, there's kind of a double helix on the Sky Spire.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so maybe one is up and one
The
is
Sky
down.
Spire looks more obviously practical and just like a better ride. There doesn't look like there's too much going on with the. I don't know. It's just kind of up and down.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. Well,
I will invest.
He's been well. He'd be happy to hear that because I think he's been trying to get these going for a long time. He's proposed these for a lot of big. What he's trying to do is like you have a mall in your town, you have a big J.C. Penney that closed. Let's build one of these on top of it because that's a big question: is what do we do with all these vacant retail spaces? He's tried to do this in San Diego and it hasn't.
This
taken off.
looks like Vegas or Dubai to me.
Yeah.
I bet it is. You load at the top on the polar coaster, and then the car just probably goes back up without people on it. That's got to be what it is.
You would think the one you call polar coaster, you would have the blue on the top and the.
Not the purple. Yeah, it should be called the purple coaster.
It's a very confusing pitch, and I think that's why he's not getting any of his
Might be.
seed money.
We have some notes.
Hey, there
Bill.
you go.
Yay. But
Sorry to. Now I feel
I
so
thought of
guilty
those two
criticizing
things.
him now that we're looking at him
Bill.
again.
We'd like to have Bill on. Like Bill has to know about us. We're one of the most popular theme park podcasts around.
Yo, yeah.
So,
He's got to have his eye on us.
yeah, Bill, if you want to explain yourself, make yourself known to us. Show yourself, as they might say.
and show us that winning smile.
And then we'll talk about ninjas and we'll talk about the polar coaster.
I really like that striped yellow John he's wearing.
There it is.
There it is.
Wow, a handsome John. You're wearing Bill Kitchen. He did get a ride installed recently. He has another type of ride called the Unicoaster, and like all of his rides, they're confusingly named. When I say Unicoaster, you probably can't picture what that might be. It's
Unicycle car of some kind.
No, that would make sense.
One rail? There's already single rail coasters.
I don't think there's any one aspect to it. That's
Okay.
Unicoaster, Universal Coaster.
And it's not at Universal Studios either.
No, it goes around the world.
There's no.
all the way around.
Yeah.
No, it's it's kind of a centrifuge. Like it spins, and you're in like you're in a pod, but that also like flips around. So it's you're going around and around, but then you're flipping around.
And this has been built,
well.
or this is something?
This has been built. It's called Jimmy Neutron's Atom Smasher, and you can find that at one of our favorite places, the American Dream Mall, which is out in New York. Have you heard about this place?
No.
This we've talked about it a bunch. It's a huge mall that's been in slow motion failure mode for many years. It's like across several rivers in New Jersey. When we were out there, I went. And it was an absolute disaster
Really?
getting there,
Yeah.
finding it took me 2 hours to get a lift
Yikes.
out of there. So not a recommend,
Okay.
I wouldn't say.
But
But if you ever
but
see a big,
something.
ugly building, if you're in the New Jersey area, it
Yeah,
might
if you're
be
in
that.
Bergen County, if you're by the Meadowlands,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll check it out
There should be a roller coaster
when I'm by there.
into it and out of it.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to get in and out. I haven't been there, but like a roller coaster that's like a mile away that takes you in, and then a roller coaster takes you out.
And
would be
but
amazing.
still has like some loops and
Yeah,
dips
oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's fun.
That'd be
Well,
great.
Scott discovered that the ride chair is an escape room. Is an inadvertent escape room.
that I failed. That like you're a failure if you take more than an hour, I think, to get out of an
I think
escape
so.
room. Yeah.
We're supposed to figure out 30 minutes in. You have to walk to the Valero.
Boy, yes, the hardest escape room ever. Well, what else? What have we not addressed about this ride that swings back and forth a couple times? And then is over?
Will you three, if you come across one, will you do it now that you've learned so much about it?
Boy,
I guess the three of us would have to do it together.
Oh, I'd get
That
the
would be
picture. I'd
fun.
get the
Somebody-
after fried picture of that for sure.
all of us in a big weighted blanket
In a big
together.
swat, like I'm in baby mode, but a big swaddle.
Yeah.
The three of us getting swaddled by in a blanket by a Six Flags employee on our bellies for tummy time.
What is the weight? The weight limit was like 850 or 900 pounds. So I think we're under that. Well under that.
I think we are under that. Yes, I think that's okay.
It doesn't seem like a risk. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess if for that photo op, yes, I don't know how soon it's going to happen. We're working on some other things to get brave about. I think at this point, especially haunt season. I've been working on these gentlemen to get into the mazes. So I think that's step one.
Oh, well, you know what? Talking properties, it's very rare that these things are themed. There's over 100 of these Skycoasters,
Yeah.
and there's only one that maybe ever you could consider having like a even still not a narrative. I guess just a theme. This might have come up oddly with Justin McElroy recently that Kings Island, where they had to theme things after properties while they had a Paramount license and then immediately changed all of them when they lost the Paramount license. The one in Kings Island was named after the movie Drop Zone. It was called Drop Zone. Can anyone produce any facts about Drop Zone offhand? Does anyone know what it is?
Only that we recently talked about it.
Talked about it with Justin McElroy.
And then it was already it was like in and out.
Yeah, and I never heard of it at the time. This is a movie where Wesley Snipes free falls into the daredevil world of skydiving to track down a cadre of techno terrorists.
Oh yes,
Wow.
Including Gary Busey as renegade skydiver Ty Moncrief.
I mean, that's a killer name.
Yeah.
That's
That's
a killer
really
character
accurate
name.
name. Wanted to make so. Again, I don't think they're like doing the instructions. They're not like taking it. So remember to pull the ripcord and take it from me, Ty Moncrief. You might not want to listen to Ty. He might be leading you astray.
Yeah.
Ooh,
there it is.
there we
Drop
go.
That looks cool.
zone. Wow,
That's great.
Leave that up for the next recording, please.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Drop
Why are we
zone.
being advertised drop zone today? Well, anyway, talking about this for a while made me feel like a real Ty Moncrief. You must have felt like Ty doing it. Well, I don't know. Any final thoughts about this? Will we? Maybe we do it. Maybe we give it a try. Will you ever again? Well, you were talking about maybe I go with the pop in with the sloppy boys.
I think I
That's
would.
A trio.
After talking about it, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah,
I'm going to do
do
it
it
again.
again.
Now
I'll
it's
do
an
it
arms
again.
race. Do we three ride it first, or the three sloppy boys
Ooh,
ride it first?
I wonder.
I wonder who will get to it first.
Ooh.
Who has more opportunities to do this type of thing?
The only thing stopping you guys is that you aren't always you aren't in the same place all the
Right,
time.
but when we are, it is at an amusement park.
Well, if it is, update us, send us
for sure.
photos or videos. And for now, Mike Hanford, at last you survived.
I did. Well, we
Podcast
don't
The
know yet.
Ride.
We don't know if this
Well,
is.
in theory.
Now, I
you
want to,
survived
at the
Podcast
risk
The
of
Ride.
making this too long of an episode, I don't
No,
want
go
to keep
for
it
it. We
going,
gotta-
but
yeah.
Yeah.
remember the reason I came on last time, the whole initial thing was to sort of bridge our friendship again, because I was
Oh, that's
talking.
right.
I don't even remember the story now because we buried the hatchet and now I've put it out of my mind. But I think we were outside of a bar once.
Across from Tam O'Shanter,
At
that
the
other
Griffin.
one.
With
Yep.
the Griffin.
Then Griffin.
Then Griffin, yeah.
Then Griffin, and people were talking about Disneyland, and I said Disneyland's not good. Disney's not good. I said.
That's right.
Yeah,
I
we
had a
just
few
started
drinks,
the
so I
podcast,
was shooting.
and we
from
were
the
like,
hip.
"Oh, Hanford would be great to have on." And then you shot the dream down. With
I said
your
Disneyland, but then I said
negative opinions.
because I see it as, and I like this. I see it as just a get people in, make their money off them, and shoot them out.
Well, you should know it has become since you did the show last.
Yeah.
It has become 200% more that. Boy, they're
See,
getting
but-
crazy with the add-ons and the maybe you get the magic band, the wrists, and the
Yeah,
you pay
yeah.
for individual rides, and so no.
See, but I
disagreement
love
at this
that.
point.
I love how it's like the most magical place on earth, and I like going there. I really enjoy being there. It's fun, and you see all the characters, and the rides are fun. But it's just taking all your money. So it's at once the most evil thing and the most wonderful thing.
You like that you're just watching the dance.
I
Like,
love it.
oh, look
I
at
love
him
it.
Go. Look
So
at,
I think when I said Disneyland is bad, that got a little, fists were up at the metaphorically.
it's the subtlety you can't. Now I see the whole opinion, but then that's all you hear. When you got a couple drinks in you.
Well, I like to push buttons too. I like to.
You're a rabble
Yeah. I like to get people.
it's
What did he just
Instagram.
say? What does he mean?
This is Eric Bogosian over here doing talk radio.
So I wanted to be controversial in the moment, and then it came to be where I came on the podcast, and we did figure it out in the water under the bridge, but that's what started this.
Water
whole thing.
under the bridge to bring up the Chili Peppers again.
Great.
full circle.
But I do like Disneyland. I think I made that point on the Lost podcast.
Well, yeah. So you
I
wanted it
do
on
like it.
record here, and on record that you don't approve of that teacher's actions,
Right. That forget.
Professor.
That's
Hooter,
bad.
we
Everything
don't
that person did
like
was
what you
bad.
did, Professor
No
Hooter.
excuse.
Got it, yeah.
Glad it's all on the record, and glad we don't have to have a big Bindle war.
Right, right.
Like we don't have to have a bean fight.
Yeah, we can
no.
all just hold hands, clasp hands, and go to Big Rock Candy Mountain together.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's an old song. It's an old folk song about.
It's in the Oh Brother Where Art Thou
Yeah.
movie.
Oh.
Yeah. About hobos luring children
Oh,
to a
okay.
mountain of
Right,
candy.
right.
Wait, so we don't want to go there, do we? It sounds
Well-
like if people are being
Oh, they're
lured.
but
luring
did you hear it? It's
children.
I think
candy.
they were. Yeah, it's candy.
But
It's
but
candy.
lured is a
It's
bad
like,
word.
It's like Pleasure Island to Pinocchio.
Yeah, that's like
That's
Pleasure
a
Island.
bad place
Oh.
too.
But
If
there was a
luring is
ride. There was a
involved-
boat ride.
But they turn it
like-
into
You like boats?
But vapor monsters, not smoke monsters, vapor monsters in the Zemeckis movie to turn them into donkey slaves forever.
Plumes, like the Valencia teens. Plumes of vapor. paper, like the Valencia teens riding the Skycoasters.
I've seen you tweet about the Pinocchio. I haven't watched Pinocchio yet. I plan to, but
Oh, boy.
it doesn't seem like it's going to be.
It's
wonderful.
wild. There's
Okay.
just dozens and dozens of bizarre facets to it. So again, mixed. Would I recommend?
It's a boy
it?
made
I'm
of
not
wood,
sure.
Scott. Of course, there's going to be weird facets to it.
It's a little out there for me. All right.
Twisted, yeah.
But Mike, let's exit through the gift shop. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
I will plug the Sloppy Boys podcast and albums, and I'll also plug this. Since the last time we've done a podcast together,
Yes.
the book "Devil in the White City." It's an old book. I mean, it's have you read
Jason's talking
Yeah,
about this
I read
somewhere.
it.
Yeah,
Fantastic book, and I'm so late. It was like New York Times top seller like 20 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
But I read it since the last time we talked, and it's fantastic. It's about the Chicago World's Fair coming together in 1892, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was an early running thread on this. I think I just read it as we were starting the
It's great.
podcast, and I was just so jacked.
Yeah,
all the,
yeah.
like early theme park connections and all the big historical figures who pass through.
The big ride or the big thing that shows up. The way they reveal that. Oh, I've said too much.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, yeah.
Thing. A
Yeah.
big John shows up.
Yeah.
John.
But
Big
there's captains of industry. There's murder. It's all happening.
Yeah.
We should. Yeah. Okay. Well, always good to encourage us to read. Mike and I. Jason reads. This has been discussed. If you want a shorter read, though, I would like to plug an article I found mid-episode on Mel Magazine, which I like in general, which is about sports. Oh, wow. Wait, this is a different.
Hey!
Whoa. Wait a minute. This is also from Mel. Jordan has put up the difference between peas and beans and why it matters. Wow. That's wild. Okay, so there's an article. Look that up, and then I have an article about sport mode in Crocs. This was written about, and they had a nuclear what is it? A nuclear and mechanical engineer discuss why sport mode matters with Crocs and the benefits and what could happen to you if you don't properly activate sport mode.
Wow.
There's a lot of websites out there, huh?
And there's infinite content void. Yes, there's an article about everything.
Think of anything, and there's an article.
And then further plugs from us. Thanks to Jordan Katz for producing this episode and showing that article about peas and beans being different. Thanks to Forever Dog. You can find us on all the socials at Podcast The Ride. Merch is available in our T Public store. For 3 bonus episodes every month, check out Podcast The Ride, The Second Gate at patreon.com/Podcast The Ride. And I had to update my document since a year ago because we have a new tier, Club 3, where you get ad-free episodes and a bonus episode on top of that every month. You've got a Patreon with Sloppy Boys.
Yes, we do.
As well.
We do.
And there's an innovation because we just started this new tier in the last year as an $8 tier, but you have a crazy... Your top tier is something else. Would you like to discuss?
We have a top tier. It's the Pay Pig tier, and you can pay $100 a month, and you get the satisfaction of giving us $100 a month.
and that's all.
That came from, I think that's a tier on like OnlyFans type thing, where it's like you get off on the idea of like you're paying
too
me
much
money.
money.
Yeah. So we put it up there.
Losing everything, as
We
Jason said.
put that up there just as a kind of a joke, and we did have a few.
We got a few
wow.
pay pigs. Wow.
Jeez.
We have encouraged people like on the podcast, like, hey, if you're a pay pig, make sure you know that that's like auto renewed, and maybe take your credit card off.
I don't want to do that forever.
But we appreciate, we love we call them patrons. We get kind of funny with that because we're a cocktail podcast. But we love all those people, and it warms my heart that someone gives us just like likes the podcast and wants to help out.
Wow. Pay pigs, a thing to be the thing to get obsessed with, like a teacher.
They get. I mean, if you're a pay pig, you get all the stuff, all the other levels too.
You get things. You don't just get mocked for your money your monthly money loss.
It does sound like it's a sex thing, though.
Well, that's because it comes from.
Yeah, it comes from this.
It comes from that world. I'm saying OnlyFans. What is it? Fans only?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
It's a kink. It's a kink.
Yes.
Like, ruin
Yeah.
me. Take all my money.
Right.
Gun me.
Jason really
it
quick
is
on the
more-
answer on this.
It is more unnerving saying it out loud because I feel like I've seen it as
You usually
a joke on
usually
Twitter.
just type it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really just type it to politicians, captains of industry.
Bill Kitchen.
No, never.
Oh, sorry.
What did we step into Professor Hooter's mind?
That could be a ride at Universal's Horror Nights. Professor Hooter's maze.
House of Horrors. All right, bye everybody.
Goodbye.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Mike Carlson, Jason Sheridan, Scott Gardner, Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogTeam and liking our page on Facebook.